strongest child in China to tighten those shoelaces. The FREERIDE from FR. The good, the bad, and the ugly. This is George Gonzalez from Night Skate here in San Bernardino. Been skating these skates for 2 years. Very excited to tell you everything, starting with the wheels, going all the way up to the integrated intuition liner and everything in between. Make sure you have all the information you need to know before you go ahead and decide whether or not this is the ultimate urban skate for you. So stay tuned.
Rolling out the shop, laces loose, knees low. Paint chip rail, cold concrete, we glow. Curb waxed up, crew posted by the wall. One push, two push, feel the wheels call. Grind the city, let the sparks fly. Toe roll, heel slide, watch us ride by. Shadows on the brick, rhythm in the lane. Grind the city, carving through the grain.
First things first, this is what the skate looks like when you get it stock. Just for reference, this is the skate as I've been skating it for the last 2 years. So I opted with the endless frame. It will come stock with the 90, 80, 80, 90 frame. So I won't review this frame right now, the endless frame. I'll save that for a different video, but I will review this frame for you guys, go into the details of it as well as the wheels. This is the frame setup that's going to come on it. So as you can see, there's 90mm wheels right here in the back and the front. And in the middle, you're going to find two 80mm wheels. They are aluminum core wheels. I'm kind of on the fence as an urban skater with regards to the aluminum wheels. They're great wheels. They perform great. Here's one actually. This is one that I skated for about half the time. I swapped out to the remaining earlier on. I did skate them flat with the aluminum core wheels for a while, so I do have a frame reference for that, but I did swap out to luminous earlier, or a few months in. The reason I say I'm on the fence about these wheels is because they give you a lot of feedback. So when you're skating in the street and stuff, you're able, you get a lot of responsiveness. You can turn really sharp. You have a ton of control, so that's one of the benefits. That's why I really like them. The issue that I have with them, like I said, is the feedback. So I think normally feedback is great. You want to know what's going on. You want to feel what's underneath you. The issue is when you're skating in a more urban environment, when you're skating on asphalt, when you're running through, regular streets, you're feeling a lot of bumps. You're getting a lot of feedback that's like vibrational. And so it wasn't too much of a problem, but I just didn't know if I liked, feeling every single rock that I ran over. When I put the two luminous wheels in, that kind of alleviated some of it. But just a thing, like I said, it wasn't a huge deal, but if you want a ton of responsiveness, if you want a ton of feedback, then it's the perfect type of wheel to get. So it's just something that I noticed, something that I figured I'd bring up. Staying in line with that, the frame, it's a great frame. All of the FR stock frames are designed really well. They're super lightweight, super strong. It's a 165 mount frame, 253 millimeters if I'm not mistaken. The bearings as well, great bearings. MW9 titanium bearings from Twin Cam. They held up great. I can actually show you. So I haven't swapped the bearings at all on this skate. I wanted to, get an idea of how everything would work. And this is the bearings as they are 2 years in. All right, I'm not gonna go for it. You get an idea, it's still going. So they work great. Not a ton of noise. Yeah, that's a review for the bearings themselves, actually. So MW9 titanium bearings, great quality. So before we get into the boot itself, I did want to cover one thing. So like I said, we want to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. One of the things that I did here, I want to say I didn't experience it, but it's kind of funny. So I was in New York. Somebody came up to me. They saw that I had the FREERIDEs on. They had previously purchased them. They asked me what I thought about the frame bolt at the time, right? And I was like, well, not the frame bolt, but what I thought about the frames, because I guess theirs were coming loose pretty often. And ironically, when he asked me that, I was looking for a tool so that I could tighten my frame bolt. So it didn't click in my head that it was, something that happened pretty often, but then I thought about it and it did. What I think the reason is, and this is me just I don't want to say guessing, but me going based off of the information I have, is they changed this frame bolt. So previously FR would use a frame bolt, and I don't have one in front of me, but it was a thicker gauge in the middle, so you need to use an old tool. We know it as the red tool. from, you know, if you skate FRs. They opted to change this screw on their more recent models that they released for the SL, so the SL FREERIDE as well as the SL Speed. And they swapped this to a frame bolt that takes just the regular size tool now. And one of the things they did was recess it or make it so that it was, you know, a lot flatter. And I think the design of this frame bolt is probably what accounting for the frame bolts becoming loose, because everything else is the same as a standard skate. I mean, a standard FR skate. So if you're having issues with your frames coming loose, I either recommend just Loctite if you don't think you're going to take them off anytime soon, or just swapping the frame bolts with the traditional FR frame bolts. So that's just one of the things I've noticed. And while we're on that, here is what the mounting system looks like. It's a 5-point mounting system. It's not a 9-point mounting system. I do not believe it is compatible with 195 mount. So understand that's just a 165 mount with some other options on there. So that is that. Now let's jump into the boot itself. So as you can see, carbon shell with leather or leather-like material all around it. Comes with a Velcro strap in the front, ratchet strap in the middle, and a ratchet strap here on top. Going to come with the integrated Intuition liner. So this is only available right now, I believe, on the FREERIDE and the SL Speed. Let's start with the liner. Let's go in a little detail of the liner. And actually, let's also talk about the original fit when they come, since we're talking about the liner. So when I got my skates, I don't know who the heck tightened those shoelaces, man. They must have the strongest child in China tighten those shoelaces, because those things were snug. I almost thought they didn't fit. So I put them on. I skated about 20 miles with them. My feet were throbbing, and I was like, I got the wrong size, you know, because I opted to size down a little bit from what my normal size was, because I felt like previously my skates were a little loose, and they hurt. My feet were just on fire. But so what I did, I just loosened up the shoelaces. I literally just put them on and just skated away. So the next time before I skated, I loosened them up all the way, put my foot in, tightened them up after, and that alleviated 99% of the problem, and I was good to go. So that's just one thing to note. If you get them originally, you put them on and you're like, oh no, these don't fit, odds are you just need to loosen the shoelaces up, because they come really, really tight. But the liner itself held up great. I don't like to heat mold my liners. I just skate them to break them in. That's what I recommend doing. But if you want to heat mold them, you can. I recommend the rice in the sock put in here method. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. Basically microwave a sock, put it in here, warm it up, and then put your foot in there. So you can see the liner held up really well. So there is this part right here on the skate that did wear through. That was the only spot that I had anywhere. Again, this is 2 years of skating though. That probably has more to do with me, because it's on both sides of the skate. It's on this side. Let me grab my other one. And it's on the other side same side of the other skate. So you can see that if they do wear out, they don't wear out badly. They don't start to disintegrate. They hold up really well. Like I said, for 2 years of skating, I still feel like I could give these to someone and they would be excited to have them. Super light skate as well. I would say this is probably like the ultimate urban skate. Like if you wanted to have something that's really nice, something that's also extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Something, you know, that you can use for a bunch of different purposes. This is really a good skate for that. I've seen people turn them into a wizard skate, amongst other things. So great skate to get if you want to experiment a little bit. I will sell them boot only, so that is something to keep in mind. I don't think many of the other people have it set up to do that. So that is something you wanted to do, able to do that. If you did want to set it up like how I have it set up, that's another possibility. All right, so that wraps up my review of these skates. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call the shop, 909-644-0104. I'll answer whatever questions you have about this skate. Like I said, I've been skating them for 2 years. By the time you call me, probably 2+ years. Any questions, you know, if you want to modify them, if you want to customize them, if you want to swap things out, totally able to do all that stuff. So just let me know, send me a message, give me a call, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. In the meantime, we're here in San Bernardino. Stop by if you have a chance. Otherwise, we're open 24 hours a day on nightskate.com. Thank you.